I'm like sweating. Is anyone hot?
Hi there, my name is Matt Cole. I'm the producer of the Earprov podcast, and we have a special treat for you listeners out there. We have something that's a little not improv, a little that is improv. Welcome to the show, Faces for Radio.
Hey.
So, let's see. I saw these guys. They performed at the Push Comedy Theater for the first time during Sketchmageddon at the Push Comedy Theater in Norfolk, Virginia. Go around the table and introduce yourselves and what you do in the Faces for Radio.
Are you done? Hi. My name is
You're fired.
Hillary Stallings. I am one of the faces in Faces for Radio. I am one of the character actors. One of the two.
And sorry, I did want to also introduce the show. What is Faces for Radio, Hillary?
Oh, so it is a live radio play. Scott, feel free to interject here.
No, you're doing just fine.
Okay. It premiered at Sketchmageddon in July 2019. Just in case anyone's listening to this from the future.
I think everybody is. That's how podcasts work. All right, let's go over here.
I'm Lindsay Horn. I do all of
Hey.
Hey,
Get
I'm not a
your
face.
face closer. There you go. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm all of the sound effects in Faces for Radio.
Excellent. And who we got last but not least?
And I'm Scott Rose. I'm also one of the faces in Faces for Radio. I do the vocal work like Hillary does.
Nice. And so, like Hillary was saying, the Faces for Radio is kind of at its basis, and then I want you guys to talk about it, a radio play. And you did it live a couple times for a studio audience at Sketchmageddon. What else? What else is Faces for Radio about?
Well, the general premise is Scott and I play a married couple.
Okay.
And our names are Scott and Hillary, as in real life.
That's good writing right there.
But Scott is very gay. And I
Also not true.
Real.
Also very real. And I, as his wife, have absolutely no idea that he is gay. And it's set kind of in this like weird 1950s alternate reality.
Nice.
So it's kind of episodic. So
And Hillary is very naive as a character. So we're stretching a lot with our character here. I'm playing a homosexual and Hillary's playing somebody who's entirely naive. Yeah.
I'm baffled the whole time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
really not true.
The big
to
thing
life.
from it, though, Hillary and I started talking about this last year in like November of last year because it was something that I wanted to do, and definitely wanted to do it with Hillary. But I had been obsessed with the George Burns and Gracie Allen TV show.
Nice.
And then I had come across their radio show, which I knew I listened to when I was a kid, but I was much more into the TV show. And so we sat down and we were talking about it. But the big thing that I loved about it is something like in the 40s and the 50s, I thought it was really awesome that even though there's this, and they were a real life couple as well, obviously. But
Wait, you
As
say as
are
well.
Scott and I.
yeah, we're together. We're together.
You're gay?
No, not right now. Not right now.
I'm not right now.
But he always played the straight character.
Yeah.
And she always got the joke. And I thought that was really awesome that there was this piece, obviously, when there was so much misogyny then, that this woman who was so talented because she's so good and she's so funny.
Yeah.
That she always got the big joke. And I was like, I want to try to do something where it's a little bit more female centric, I think. And where, because men aren't great, right, about writing for women or making opportunities for women.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was kind of my one big thing. And even the first time that we did it, I was like, let's talk about this and make sure, because obviously I'm not the straight man in it. But the cool thing is the way it turned out with Lindsay getting a lot of attention and a lot of laughs and stuff from the sound effects, which we knew would be funny.
My body.
Right? We knew would be funny. But doing it, like, we learned a lot about audience stuff, and we all knew that would be funny what she was doing, but I think it caught us all by surprise in just how much they loved that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was really cool that these two got a lot of attention for being very talented and very funny, which they are. So I felt very proud that we'd actually done something.
Yes.
That way.
Nice.
And I think that that's a good time to plug the live version. So if you're
Uh-oh.
listening
Yeah.
to this and you haven't seen us live, you absolutely should.
Where is
It's
it? When is
really
it?
fun. Our next, will this be up?
Oh, yeah.
Time.
September 7th.
No, it will. It will.
The next show
7th.
is in the future.
Yeah,
It's in the future.
September 7th, 2019
Nice.
at 10 p.m. Sketchmageddon, Push Comedy Theater, Norfolk, Virginia.
Nice.
Be like us, take a nap first.
Yep.
And you can come out.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
I always take a nap. So talk about Lindsay. So you do the sound effects, and so I've seen a few different kinds of like radio plays. Do you also do characters, just sound effects? Do you do sound effects as a character? How does this work?
Yeah, most of the time they have no idea what I'm doing behind them, and I think that's why it's
No, we
funny
don't.
for
Not at
the
all.
audience. Well, I think it's fun to watch like from behind. That's how we all start, right? Anyway, so Hillary and Scott get to play with each other, and who I get to play with. I don't know any other way to
The
say it.
filthiest,
But I-
cleanest thing I've ever
Get to
talked
play
about.
What were you about to say? But you
Well,
get to
I'm
play with
behind
yourself.
I
them.
get to play with-
Like, Hillary and
I-
Scott play with each other.
For the live episodes, I play with the audience, and
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like very engaged. It's a very consensual show, you guys.
It's very pornographic. is what we're saying.
It is. I have
Come
a lot
to
of
the
fun
live
with
show.
It is truly probably one of like my most favorite thing I've done on that stage, and like probably the most easiest I've ever done, because obviously like done all the writing, and I just show up and I'm just like, hey, thanks for this script, and I'm just like wah wah, but it's the most, because I love being physical on stage.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'd be fine if you didn't give me one line, but if I could just like jump around and like play with everyone without saying one word, which is literally what I do in this show.
She says one word.
Yeah, I
Give
say,
the people what they want.
which is what we do.
Yeah.
This is why we are winning, because we deliver.
Say
Hot and
the
ready
word.
pizza.
Say the word. Say it.
Girth. Oh yeah.
I could hear the like really well.
So you bring up something which is interesting, and I maybe a fucking dum dum, or maybe not, but so Earprov is mostly I set up for improv, and then I was like, oh my god, you guys should come on the show and like do your scripted radio play. And then just today I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute, that shit is not improv.
You didn't realize that at all.
I was like,
I did.
I was like, damn, fuck. But so who does the writing, by the way? You may have mentioned this already.
Scott and I both
Okay.
do.
Yeah.
I think Scott is funnier than me. So I feel like I kind of like write like this bare bones, like this is what's gonna happen, and then Scott goes in and puts all the funny stuff.
Puts the
in.
jokes in. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
We talk about it a lot, though.
We
So
do.
like, I'm not great at outlining stuff, and I have to talk stuff out a lot. Otherwise, it just doesn't get done. So we've had these awesome conversations where we just kind of do that, what if, or if we're talking about improv, right? So if then what, like what happens? The one that we did last month,
Which was literally written in 2 days.
yeah, like because
we
we
wrote
didn't,
one.
yeah,
I
we
wrote
didn't-
one.
yeah,
I
we
showed
didn't
up
like
for a
it.
rehearsal, and they were like, so we're rewriting it. So.
but we didn't like it. We didn't think it was up to what we had done the month before, and we just went, okay, there's this idea that we want to do, which is these two going to get their vows renewed or whatever, and like
Yeah.
we both are obsessed with RP English accents,
Yeah.
because of
and
The Crown.
The show The Crown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So I was like, I want to do an RP accent. Well, I want to do an RP accent.
We actually
we're, like,
fought
fighting over the queen.
who was going to play the queen.
Oh,
And I want to put inappropriate noises to the queen. So it all worked out. It's
Right.
very collaborative. And
But yeah, we outline it, and then we kind of, the first month we both wrote something and
Yeah.
we chunked it together. This one we super outlined it, and Hillary's really good about going through and like tweaking and editing and taking all the chunk out. But then the awesome thing about writing it is we then have to go back, and this last month we did it a lot more with Lindsay, as far as like we went through the script after we had read through it, and and rehearsed it and went, okay, we need a sound here. And like, what does that sound like? And we want a sound here. And like, we had decided that we needed trumpets
Yes.
and nobody plays it. And of course, we're like, Lindsay, do you know how to play a trumpet?
I started taking musical lessons.
Right.
Yes.
So we
She knows how to
found
play
like
the flute.
we're online, like if we can't think of how to find something in the house to make it, like we Google stuff and like, how do you make surely you can't make a trumpet. Fuck it. Yes, you can.
You can.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we made her a trumpet to
That's
play
awesome.
and it was awesome.
Out of a funnel.
Yep.
And
like a rubber hose.
and an actual trumpet mouth.
I know what you're talking about now.
Thank you, Austin Priest.
Yes.
I didn't know that's what that fucking was.
Yeah.
Like, that was crazy. Wow.
I was out of breath, so it sounded different, a little different in rehearsal. But I'm
Talk about a little background on what you guys normally do as far as like comedy. Talk about anything. Where you got your start, what you're into right now, anything. Who wants to go first? Hillary looks like she's craving talk about comedy.
Okay.
I know
I think
that
she's on a murder podcast right now.
Yeah.
Are you really?
That's what we're
Do you
gonna
know
do
about
next.
murder?
We're gonna just do this.
I was learning about a new serial killer.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like-
Sorry, Matt. You're the victim.
Oh fuck!
You didn't know you were on a murder podcast.
God damn it! I do want to die though. Oh, keep going.
Let's put the cure on while we're at it.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I'm running through my month. At 10 p.m. on the first Friday of the month, I do a improv.
Oh.
I'm in an improv group with Matt Cole
There
called
you go.
Monocle. It's a mono scene, long form type improv. We do 2 mono scenes, one per half, with Adam Payne, Heather Payne, and James Roach and Matt Cole. And on what else do I do? I
You
do
can bring out your
In the
calendar if you
future.
want.
If you have something coming up in the
Unusual.
future,
Norfolk Comedy
just- it's
Festival.
in
I
the future.
do Unusual Suspects pretty frequently.
Nice.
I feel like I can say
How
that.
how long you been doing improv or performing?
I've been doing improv for about 4 years, I think.
Nice.
Maybe pushing 5 now. And then performing, I've been acting since I was in the 7th grade.
Nice.
My very first play was Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh,
really good, okay.
You're next, Lindsay. How long you been doing stuff? How'd you start off?
I've just been improvising, quote unquote, for almost 3 years.
Nice.
My little 3-year anniversary is coming up
Yay.
in September.
Oh, we're gonna throw a party.
Before that, no. No. Actually, I wish I didn't say that. So somebody else makes a big deal out of it. Like Sean Devereaux comes over, like, really, 3 years and you still suck. Yeah. You
Suck
still
less
suck.
on your
Suck
anniversary.
less on stage.
Any other shows that you're in?
Any Earprov.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We're changing it up a bit, so hopefully I'm still in that.
What is Earprov?
It is the second Friday at 8 at the Push Comedy Theater. What else am I in?
What kind of show is Earprov?
Girlprov is
I can probably guess. But
you want to make an educated guess? Go ahead. I'll help you out.
is it girls?
It's all vagina. And yeah, so that's like so much fun. I tend to not like women. No offense. No. Usually, you know,
This
the
isn't
whole,
Joe Rogan's podcast.
No, when you get a whole group of women together, it's just like, oh my God, we need chocolate and tequila and wine. And that's true too. But these girls are like fun. Like it's like girls that you can like be like, have a dick joke and be like, oh my God, you're so misogynistic. You know, like I grew up with boys and whatever. I'm going to get myself in trouble by talking.
Yeah, you are. Good job, Lindsay. All right,
Sorry.
Scott.
I do not hate women. Let me just get that out of the way.
I don't hate women. Okay.
I'm like really offended.
Any bad comments? Okay, thank you for saying. Any bad comments, just shoot them my way. This is all me and on me. Don't hate on them because of
How'd you-
me. So,
How do you start, Scott?
I've been doing. I'm pretty much right along there with Hillary. So I think 4
I've been
years
doing
coming
it
on.
for a little bit longer than him. Let's just clarify.
Right.
7 years.
It's a problem.
Had you been performing
why
before
are you
then?
better than me?
I did theater in high school, and I wanted to go to school for theater. I wanted to go to college for theater, but I wasn't allowed because there's no money in it. So I didn't do any theater between when I turned 18 all the way up until I started taking classes at Push, which was almost 4 years ago. So it was like a 10-year, 11, 12-year. I don't even want to think about it. It was a long time.
Did you guys meet in improv classes or no?
I met Hillary. I think we had like 201
Nice.
together.
And then we became friends because of 666, which is also coming up
Yes.
in the
Yes,
future.
very much coming up.
It
Yes.
is Hillary's first
What is-
directing.
My first
back.
What is 666?
666 is a Halloween themed show that we do at the Push Comedy Theater. It is 6 writers, 6 directors, 6 actors, 6 nights. Should be called the 666 show.
And 6 rehearsals. For
Yeah,
each thing.
6
So
rehearsals
it's like
per show.
6 to the 27th
Yeah.
6
power.
p.m.
Yeah.
or 6 a.m.
And I just realized we're all 666 alum somehow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it's
you were my alum. You were my AD last year.
I was Matt Cole's AD
we directed.
last year.
That's a straight path to directorship, apparently.
apparently.
right. Obviously, I got
We're actually like a double date right now of 666 director
Right.
AD.
Yeah,
because
that's true.
Lindsay was Scott's and I was Matt's last year. And Scott and Matt and me are directing this year.
Here, holy shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
What are your hopes for this year for directing? Anybody can answer this one.
I don't know. I did the first year I AD'd with Alba Woolard, which was amazing. And we did a scary piece, which was awesome because she doesn't like scary stuff and I don't like scary stuff. So you have these two people that are like, I don't like scary things. I want to make something scary. And it was so awesome because it was really freaky.
Yeah.
Smile Stealer, I think is what it was called.
Oh, that's
that
right.
was so
Yep.
scary.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that was awesome. And then last year we got a funny piece that we tried to make as dark and macabre as we could, but it was funny. So I don't know. Like I'm really excited about seeing the material. Like I would love to go slapstick a little bit, but I also just want to do something really dark. It was awesome at the end of the Smile Stealer, just like the
God, that's
silence
so
of the
good.
audience of
Oh
just
my
going,
God.
what the fuck just happened? And
That's how you know it's good.
oh my God, you guys, we made these people freak out.
Torn.
It's awesome.
And like Hillary said earlier, is the writing is actually taken from locally around Hampton Roads.
Original writing.
I mean, that's incredible, an amount of talent. And are you doing something for it this year as well, Lindsay? I don't want to.
I want to assist and direct again.
Have you thought about auditioning for it? Because the auditions are also local actors.
I've thought about Lindsay auditioning for 666. I'm glad you have.
Yeah. So you're gonna do
You
that.
should.
It's coming out on the podcast right
I
now.
have a
Good.
We're making news in the
Yep.
future.
I mean, Matt Cole has been in 666 twice.
Okay. Oh, it's
I've
like
been
peer-
in
666
666.
peer pressure?
Hillary's been in
Yeah.
666.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
can't
how much?
sit with us if you're not in the 666.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of
That's
us.
fine. I'm
one
totally
of
fine
us.
getting coffees and making sounds in the background.
Well, welcome to the show. Thank you for letting me record you on stage. I really want to do an improvised version of what you do scripted.
We
How
have
feasible?
talked about it.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. That was, we had that conversation, I think, together the second month after writing it. And we're like, this would be actually really cool
And
to
next time
try to improvise
We're at Matt
this.
Cole's apartment.
Yeah.
We're going to do it, right?
Yeah,
If we can
absolutely.
pull it off,
Absolutely.
it would be
I
really
think,
cool.
like,
Kind of terrified.
after we do the show next month, because we talked, like, it's just gotten, because we're all having so much fun with it, but we had this weird conversation last night, or what I think is weird, and we're like, we haven't cataloged our sound effects yet. I don't remember where the knife sound came from. Well, I don't either. Well, we need to write that down on like a Google document so we
You're
can put it
getting
together.
organized.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
That's awesome.
Yeah.
like I think that's also the thing is trying to figure out like what Lindsay needs to have to try to make noises of stuff.
Probably
use my body.
Talent. I don't know.
Oh my god, am I across from Sean Devereaux? I don't know.
You get talent from being in the 666 project. That's where.
So
I feel like we've mentioned Sean twice and we haven't mentioned Brad, and I think he might get upset.
Sean and Brad, they're the owners of the Push Comedy Theater. They say they do. I don't know if I believe them or not, but hey, Sean, hey, Brad. They're
I like Sean better.
Wow.
That's very deep.
Now
That's very
we'll really
19 minutes.
listen.
19 minutes and
We
30
will see
seconds
if they
in.
listen. I will hear about that.
I miss Alba. So
Oh, anything else you want to bury?
I love Ed Carden though. Ed Carden.
Yeah, and Adam Payne. Yeah. Oh my God. Everyone is better than Brad.
Those are all the
All of
pushers.
them.
All right. So thank you for being on the show. What can we expect from your next one? So the first one, you introduce your characters very nicely in Act 1 or Episode 1, I guess. Episode 2, you took them on a royal wedding. Episode 3, what can briefly, without giving anything away, or what can we expect?
want to try to go.
Please say it.
Zany.
Like to the moon or under the sea.
Yeah, like we want to go.
Character.
Yeah, we started with a murder. We started with
maybe
a
a
murder
little-
because Hillary's obsessed with murder, and I was like, let's do
I
it.
feel like we're just gonna
Yeah.
become a murderer.
And last month we went a little bit extra, and like the awesome conversation that we were having is obviously like we can do anything.
Anything.
Like, it doesn't have to be based
Because
in
no
like-
one can see it.
right.
So we can do, except for, the 99 people in the audience.
Right.
Right.
And it's
sold out crowd.
So yeah, so because we're trying to do something different every month with it while we're
Cool.
playing with it, and we really want to go kind of like, what the fuck is happening? right now?
Yes.
Just-
that
And
is the reaction we
Okay.
We ordered
Give us a Yelp review. Like,
some
what?
stuff on
we
Amazon
did order
last
some
night.
stuff, yeah. And we're also like building like a weird Faces for Radio universe thing.
Oh,
Like
nice.
we have characters that keep coming back, and like like oddly enough, like they have a son together, and like we've talked about like one of the ones I'm working on. I'm like, what would Archie be doing in 2019? And what is it? Like we can do anything. And like
Girl
Hillary got us all into the Kate McKinnon thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Heads will roll.
that.
Heads will roll.
Is that our podcast?
No, it's a radio play on Audible.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
And like it's batshit crazy, and they
Yeah.
do anything. Now I hate it.
I love it.
But
I think it's great.
I
But
cannot
like one
stand
of them
her.
is a bird,
Yeah.
like a
Like a
person
bird?
that's actually a bird. And
Oh.
so like
It's
like
just
when I heard
insane.
that, I was like, oh my God, we could be a bird. Like,
That's the genius. Oh my god, let's be a bird.
we could be a bird.
But then the second part of that conversation is, Lindsay, can you make a bird sound?
yeah.
What does your bird sound like?
Yeah.
And go.
Give me 2 seconds.
Bird.
Call.
Oh, that's good. All right.
We had-
Do that?
We had that
did
one.
have a bird
Yeah,
sound.
we did. We
Yeah,
had
a bird
doves.
sound.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Can you do dove? Yeah, I
I
can do
think
a
all
dove.
three of us did it.
Can you
Do you
play a
want an
trumpet?
English dove?
No. Well, you're going to have to learn how to play a trumpet.
Matt Colt.
Are you trying to get hired?
Oh
Are you
my
trying to take
God.
my position?
Are you trying to take Lindsay's spot?
I am.
Wow.
We could have a revolving sound
You've
person.
been usurped.
I cannot take the place.
No,
of
no.
any one of you. You guys are very talented. Thank you for being on the show, and thank you for allowing me to record you. I can't wait to do the improvised version of Faces for Radio.
coming.
But check out Faces for Radio at Sketchmageddon, the first Saturday of the month, right at 10 p.m. Is that right? At the Push Comedy Theater in Norfolk, Virginia. Play us out. Give it to me right.